and welcome. Gotta put the music back on. How's everyone? It is... What day is it? It's Monday! She knows what day it is. Honest. It's pre-Odyssey day. We're gonna get Odysseus and Penelope together and they will smooch. I hope they smooch. I would like them to smooch. Hello everybody. Hello Naka-chan. Hello Nimby. Hello Elif. Hello Sweetie. Welcome. Welcome to the cute dating game. Odysseus, Penelope, and the wing ducks that help them to get together. Hello, no one says Fanty. That's a new word for you. Hi, Chase. Welcome. Welcome, lurkers. Welcome, Vodders. Welcome. Granny Brandy sometimes forgets things like the day or the... I don't forget about my lack of boldness. Beautiful, blonde locks. Thank you very much. Should we get on with it? I want to get on with it. Continue! Yesterday was fun, wasn't it? I always, struggle balancing collabs with chatting with you guys. I feel like I ignore you guys a little on collabs. I feel bad. But I did have a good time yesterday. And I figured out my dragon deck. I'm actually having a very good time with you guys. Like I said, I played with my fiance beforehand. It was really fun. I might do that again with him at some time. Anyway. Maybe. No, I wouldn't do that. Aha! Wife! Yes! Penelope has agreed to be his waifu, but we have a problem in that Penelope's dad does not approve because Odysseus has a terrible fucking reputation. And Odysseus wants to take his favorite baby girl home to Ithaca. Oh my god, it's loud. Yeah, it's quack-a-lackin'. Yes! That's a lovely quack pun. It's a wonderful day in ancient Greece and we are lovable ducks who just want to see Penelope happy with the guy she's got a crush on, who joyfully has a crush on her too, and not Helen, which is great. Still feels like a dream. Wife, look at his wife. I realized after the Yu-Gi-Oh stream I might have to change my overlay a little bit because apparently planet chat is too big. You guys, I made your planet too big for you guys to chat on. Now it's covering too much of the screen and it was kind of a problem with Yu-Gi-Oh because it covered up the life points. That stream was a wee bit of a mess, but it was fun. If this really were just a dream, it's a dream I wouldn't want to wake up from. The two spoke in unison. Hello, 100 American Bison, welcome. That's a lot of bison. They stared at each other, then laughed. Even Aphrodite would have winced at that, huh? You started it. No, you. It was you. The duck cannot handle this. Quack. The duck then waddled off somewhere. It wasn't difficult to translate that one. I'll give you two some space, said the duck. Anyway, the race should be in 3 days. Oh yeah, he has to beat Penelope's dad in a foot race. Cause that's how it works in ancient times. You got to beat the papa-in-law in some kind of physical activity. Your uncle and I have talked it over, and he'll be sponsoring the event. So your father can't make excuses to get away from it. Lest he'll make a fool of his brother. I guess Uncle is one of the only people Father couldn't easily oppose. I'll let you two smooch, said the ducks. I can't smooch yet, they're not married! Tindarius said he'll save you and the ducks the best seat in the stadium, so I'd better hear you cheer me on. I can watch? Why do you sound surprised? Father never lets me watch his races. Oh, it's your first time then. It'll be a feast for your eyes. You'll enjoy it. I'm looking forward to the event then. Odysseus and Penelope continued to meet for the next 3 days, though their meetings had been brief since the young man was training for the race. Achaius, Penelope's father, made himself scarce. From the rumours she had heard, it seemed that he was upset over his brother taking Odysseus' side. Alright, Odysseus, if you can beat me, if you can beat my Dark Souls speedrun, you can have my daughter's hand in marriage. That's the modern day interpretation, most certainly. Or if you can beat me at Warhammer. 3 days passed in the blink of an eye. So this is the venue for the race? Quack! The god said Odysseus should be that way? Go on, let's go say hi. She smiled, trailed by no less than 10 ducks from behind. Quack, 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 quack. Odysseus, I'm... Ah! Why are you... Oh my! Oh no! What? Oh my. Unfortunately, we're on stream. So we gotta censor. We have to censor. We're on stream. If you want to see the uncensored version, you gotta go buy this yourself. You must use a DDR dance pad as a controller. Anything else would be unworthy. No, you must train a goldfish to play it for you. So censor. Censor. We cover our eyes. Am I? Ah! Yeah! I'm sorry, are you changing right now? Oh, you're here. Well, you didn't know. Didn't know what? Foot races are done naked! Oh my, they are! I can't wait to get to the lore section. It's a naked foot race! Oh my. Oh my, oh my. Even your old man will be out there with his chest bare and proud. I guess I need to get used to it. And that'll be why Papa never let us at the foot races. It's because he didn't want us to see the men waggling about, I suppose. I think I heard about this in a QI episode a decade and a half ago. Yeah! I'm very curious to get to the lore sections in this. Yeah, you'd better. You're coming home with me, remember? You have a point. That said, she didn't really think Odysseus would be well-toned underneath his clothes. Of course he would be! He's a Greek king! It made sense, though, since kings were typically trained for battle, thus they go through rigorous routines. Her sight caught a nose mark on his leg. Looking closer, it seemed to be an old wound. What are you looking at? Kings trained for battle, they did! Or at least in, like, you know, the myths. Oh, Odysseus traced her line of sight. Oh, that! It's a wound I got from a boar hunt. Pretty nasty, innit? You mean the one... The warriors of the mind. That boar hunt? That boar hunt? The one where you pressed Athena? Badass in the arena? Penelope could only shake her head. Not like it would have been painful. I was 15 back then, just a little before I inherited the throne. Oh, so you're good at hunting? Psh, of course I'm good at hunting. What about bows? Swords? I'd say I'm pretty handy with a bow. I even have one that only I could string. Between you and me, it has a little secret to it, so brute force won't cut it. that the boar hunt of 8700 BC? And that's the bow. String my husband's old bow and fire it through axes. I don't know, I can't remember the actual song. You're quite talkative today, aren't you? Well, I guess I'm nervous. What if you lose? Oh well. How can you be so sure? 'Cause I make things happen. I told you, didn't I? He's a warrior of the mind. I can do anything if I put my mind to it. I wish I could be more like you. When you say something, you really make it sound believable. It's no wonder I fell in love with you. Arrow to the heart! Arrow to the heart! It scares me how straightforward you can get sometimes. But let me tell you, you don't have to be like me. I like you for being you. It's so sweet. After stars and time that was hurt comfort, and we had to go through so much goddamn fucking hurt to get the comfort. This is all comfort, and this is exactly what I needed. So just keep being yourself. Even if you strive to grow, you're free to find your own path. You don't have to copy me. You can be strong in your own way. You are strong in your own way. Thanks. Well. And here I thought I couldn't love you even more. Ah! We stabbed him in the heart again! The hurt comes later. Yeah, the hurt comes after like 20 years of absence in a war. That's where the hurt is. Hello, Doppel! Pray greetings again. I shall merely listen and remain concealed whilst I labour on my narrative. Much like species of ASMR. Yeah, this works as a species of ASMR. You're relentless today. I do hope you'll keep finding more reasons to keep loving me more and more. We'll see. Whatever happened to that adorable, dense little lady I once knew? She decided to love you with all her heart, and now you have to deal with relentless love. Relentless. Penelope turned around, ready to leave. She fell in love. She did! I can't wait to play this again and completely reject Odysseus at every point and just see what happens. Penelope sat by the special area that her uncle had provided. It was right down the stadium, practically front row seats to the race. Even her ducks were given special seating. Thanks, Uncle! Odysseus mentioned before that he got her uncle to procure the best duck bedding they could find in Greece. Well, happy that Odysseus cared so much for them, Penelope honestly thought that it was overboard. Still, seeing how the ducks were enjoying their makeshift seats, it was probably worth it. As long as the ducks are happy, that's all that matters. That said, there were a lot more people than she expected. Her uncle likely invited even the common folk to attend. Penelope wasn't accustomed to being around huge crowds, so she was actually quite anxious. The only saving grace being that she had a special seating away from them. They even had a makeshift sun shield and servants fanning them. Isn't this a little too much, Uncle? Her seat was right next to King Tendarius. Nonsense! My niece deserves the best! What a great uncle. He nodded proudly to himself. I didn't get many opportunities to speak with Uncle, but it's good to know he's actually nice. Still, your father is a little too much, don't you think? I've heard you've been spending time with that young lad, Odysseus, yes? Odysseus. Yeah. Ha! I'm glad my home served as a place for your love story. Witnessing your stream featuring your visual novel hath inspired me to desire to craft mine own. Founded on tale and presently composing perchance. Upon its completion, I shall endeavour to bring such a thing to it. Check out Rempy. This was made in Rempy. Rempy's a really easy visual novel engine to pick up. It's based on Python, so it works on indentation and stuff. It's really fun. It's good to use. Really, really fun. Uncle sure is in a good mood. This is kind of embarrassing. Anyway, I wish Akyrus would just stop being so stubborn. His dear daughter is obviously smitten. He should just let her be. It's rare for youth today to marry for love, you know. He sure is passionate about this. Just then, a man finally walked up the center of the stadium. And now we're about to begin the competition for Lady Penelope's hand in marriage. The host at the center broadcasted with a booming voice and then pointed at her. Oh no. That's embarrassing. I can feel the embarrassment there. Just being like, no, please don't look. Scary. People from the audience brought their eyes toward her direction. Penelope just couldn't help but sink in her seat. Yeah, fair. Shouldn't like being the center of attention. Made her somewhat nauseous. Today we have 10 contenders vying for Prince Icarus's daughter, who will come out victorious. 10? Oh, did Odysseus not mention? When I announced the event, a few others volunteered to take part. You're one popular lass. Uncle, you were just saying how you supported me and Odysseus. Why did you bring in other people? Suddenly she felt even more nervous. How did it come to this? As per usual, the losers of the match shan't be allowed to step foot in Sparta forever. Huh? Oh, yes. He clicked his tongue. That's your father's handiwork there. Why didn't Odysseus tell me this? Knowing him, it's like he believes he will win anyway, without a doubt. And now, without further ado, here are our runners for today. And of course, they were all naked, because that's how it was done back in the day. Can you imagine, like, the Olympics, but bollock naked? Her father wasn't among them. He'll probably have a special entrance later. She felt her blood rushing to her head. For a girl who had been sheltered all her life, seeing this many men, almost buck naked, was overstimulating. Especially with them up this close. Fencing would be much different. It would. I was mostly just thinking the races, or maybe the athletics in general. Now the gymnastics buck naked. Skateboarding buck naked. Stay strong, Penelope. She looked around and saw a number of women above the audience seats screeching and cheering at the runners. Unlike her, they seemed to be enjoying this. Should I copy them? Penelope took it in a sharp breath. But all that came out was a wheeze. Just as she was feeling down about not being able to cheer on Odysseus, his words from just a while earlier came back to her. You are strong in your own way. No, I can do this. Okay, one more time. Once more, she breathed in. You can do it! The girl shouted at the top of her lungs. Yeah! My goodness, he's using it to pull back the bow. Oh my. Naked. Oh yeah, because breakdancing's a thing. Naked breakdancing. Fuck yeah. Titties and peepees flying everywhere. Her screams surprised her uncle as well as the runners. Odysseus looked in that direction and smiled. I did it! You did it, Penelope! Not long after, the runners positioned themselves at the starting line. Of course, Kairos was there as well. For a man of his age, he was ridiculously buff. They're about to begin. 3, 2, 1, and they're off! Penelope was at the edge of her seat. Immediately, her eyes searched for Odysseus. He was doing pretty average. Smack dab in the middle of the running. At this rate, Odysseus would lose. What happened to all his confidence? No, this is just the beginning. I believe we can turn this around. She pouted as she watched them complete another lap. The noise of the stadium didn't die down one bit. In fact, for every lap, the people would cheer louder and stronger. Interestingly enough, some of the runners who were ahead now lagged behind. But Odysseus maintained a steady pace. Still, that was nothing to praise about. Her father was still far ahead, and he was also keeping his pace. I never imagined father being this formidable. Penelope held her breath, hoping for Odysseus to turn the tides. Come on, Odie! Just then, one of the runners caught up to the Ithacan king and tried to swipe Odysseus with his arm. What? Uncle, did you see that? That runner tried to hit Odysseus. Well, you can't really avoid accidents in these events. That wasn't an accident. Accidents? I'm pretty sure that was intentional. What can I do? We don't have any rule against that. You know what? We should probably enforce more rules next time. Thanks, Uncle! Why is Uncle keeping calm? Odysseus can get hurt. Just as she was thinking that, another run comes to him from behind. Odysseus, watch out! Just as she screams, the young man managed to dodge by, speeding up and making a forward dash. But one behind him slid across the floor when he missed his tackle. Penelope sighed in relief and wiped her forehead. Still, this is strange. Why are they only going after him when he's not even in the lead? Did Papa hire them? I think Papa hired them. Penelope's eyes hovered over her father. Could it be? Uncle, I don't want to speak ill of father, but is there a possibility that he's the one who asked the other contestants to target Odysseus? Her uncle raised a brow. Nonsense, child. A Kairos doesn't need to do something like that. He's a champion runner, and he has pride in his skills. Besides, none of the other competitors had this kind of thing happen. Then it isn't father. Maybe people with a grudge against Odysseus? Did Uncle do this? Did Uncle do this? Did Uncle do this because this way he gets the deal with Odysseus to, like, sort out his political issues, but then he doesn't actually have to give his niece to Odysseus in order to do it, and that way he doesn't have to piss off his brother either? No, hold on. Father does have a reason to not let Odysseus out of anyone else win. Betting over the contestant is only after the throne. But Odysseus is the only one who wants to take me back to his homeland. She pursed her lips. If that really was the case, then Odysseus will continue to be targeted. Excuse me, Uncle. Her uncle smiled and gestured that she's allowed to go. I don't understand how Uncle can remain so calm despite this. With that, she scurried over to her ducks. Meanwhile, at the stadium track... Oh, they're being more annoying pests than I expected. I should have gotten a couple of people to assist me with this. I mean, I expected this, but still, ugh. He sighed. Oh well, no use complaining. I'll be the first to start dropping like flies. Little ones. The ducks were happily bouncing on their VIP nests when she approached. Quack, 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 quack. Please help Odysseus. Some runners are trying to attack him, and I'm worried he might get badly hurt. Quack, quack. What's that? Permission to act on your accord? Sure. Having given her his consent, the bird flew off somewhere. Hey, where are you? At that moment, Penelope had no idea what she just unleashed. The power! The power she has at her fingertips and has no idea. Back at the stadium track. Oh, there, future father-in-law. Odysseus caught up to Kyrus, though the older man was still a whole lap around ahead of him. If you have time to chat, I'd do you better to save for actually trying to win. I don't have to try. Hello, Red Roach. You can't tell the ducks to attack the runners. That's coercion. They can do that perfectly fine on their own. No, they wanted permission. I will win. The old king let out a snort. Big words for someone who's a lap behind. Oh, you mean only a lap behind? Has anyone ever told you you're quite maddening? The bird event of 940 will never be forgotten. Oh, that's a new one. No one had ever expected what happened next. It was said, on that day, the sky went dark. And the air was filled with endless quacks and wings and flaps. What the duck? Kyrus was left speechless. In that moment, he paused in awe of the duck-filled sky. Time almost seemed as though it had come to a complete halt. Everyone probably stopped what they were doing, with the exception of Odysseus, who kept running. The humans had gone quiet, pointing and watching the wave of fowls in the sky. Quack! Quackilles! What the duck is going on? Quack! I have no idea what you're saying! However, the ducks only kept circling the stadium without really doing anything but quack. It was simply ominous. Our ducks will blot out the sun. Then we shall race in the shade. Is this a sign from the gods? We must call a seer for interpretation. The king muttered to himself as he watched the darkened sky. We could suspend the competition. No, I think you guys overdid it. You didn't call all the ducks of Greece here, did you? Quack. Yes, we did. What do you mean, not yet? Send them back! Please. Quack. And the duck flew up. And not long after, the darkened sky began to clear, and the sea of ducks subsided. I want this as like a kid's animated movie. That'd be so good. Oh, speaking of cute kid movies, I went to see Sheep Detectives recently. It was about sheep solving their shepherd's murder, and it was wonderful and wholesome and great. Thank goodness. Oh, they're gone. What was that about? Ha! Maybe those birds dropped by just to watch. Her uncle joked. His mood had clearly brightened up now the omen was gone. People whispered. Some say it must have been the gods. Others say it was a sign. This event would be the talk of the land for years to come. But it would soon be forgotten, lost in time. I don't think the other runners will try anything against Odysseus anymore. She smiled at him and waved. You can do it! Odysseus waved back. A few continued to run, but the other contestants seemed to have been in too much shock that they bowed out of the race. I love the yet. At what point would day turn to night and the thunder of quacks deafens all the dare stay? We do not... All the ducks in... Penelope has the ability to summon all the ducks in Greece at her beck and call. She truly could have taken down Troy herself. Those who attacked him before, in particular, had withdrawn. If Odysseus hadn't continued doing his laps, no one else probably would have resumed doing theirs. Unfortunately, Achairus was one of those who had resumed. Thus, the race was back on. Back to Odysseus. That duck apocalypse! That's a duck apocalypse if I ever seen one! You can do it! He turned to the voice and waved. Either way, that gave me some unexpected leverage. I've gotten past Achairus somehow. He paused on his thoughts for a moment to mull. Was that Penelope's doing, isn't it? Who else? Who else can summon ducks from across the country? Man, she's so fun. Well, time to get through this final stretch. Don't want our efforts to go to waste. Go, Odysseus, go! The race was reaching its finale. Because of the short, quacky intermission, Odysseus had somehow gotten the lead. Penelope talked about it with her uncle. What if her father uses the ducks as an excuse to make the race results invalid? Her uncle reassured her that he wouldn't allow such a thing, since Odysseus kept running. So there technically wasn't an excuse to stop. That said, despite the leverage he had gotten, Achairus was still indeed formidable. He had managed to catch up with Odysseus and was toe-to-toe with the young man. They're currently taking a water break. Odysseus only stopped by the water station for a bit, but he still found time to wave at her once again. This is the final stretch, you can do it! She silently cheered him on. At the back at the stadium track. Are you sure your bones aren't given out yet? Your tactics won't work on me. Final lap. The two men ran side by side, each one continuously overtaking the other. Odysseus was young, and he had saved up most of his stamina. So what he lacked in speed, he made up with his endurance. However, Achairus was nothing to sneeze at. Power, speed, endurance, he was at the top of it all. Had he not been distracted by a duck-filled sky, he would have been in the lead right now. Or so Odysseus would refute. Hey, see that? Your daughter's cheering for me, he pointed out as they passed her. Couldn't you just let it go already? You know that this is what she wants. Why would you deny her of it? Ah, you don't know anything, young man. Nor does she. Penelope's a sheltered, naive child. She doesn't know what you're dragging her into. Oh? Seems like you're just making excuses. I told you, didn't I? I don't mind waiting. I don't mind if you tell her. Tell her what I'm dragging her into, then. I'd gladly rearrange a visit tour for Ithaca. You just give me a date. Or you can even visit without notice. I bet you'll have fun. I refuse! Thought so. Well then, if you're not going to budge, I'll just win this myself. I do hope you know that she isn't an object for you to own. The older king winced. And just fell silent. Before he could say anything more, Odysseus kicked up his speed and ran past Achairus. Achairus tried to catch up, but his speed had somewhat fallen. Perhaps the fatigue was catching up to him. Or perhaps... Either way, the finish line was within sight. 1 week after the race! Well, that's rude. Not letting us finish the race. Odysseus, are you sure you don't want to stay here and become a new king of Sparta? The Ithacan king just shrugged. Nah, too much work. Penelope dear, are you sure this is the man you want? Penelope just hid behind Odysseus and nodded. Penelope, you don't know what it's like there in Ithaca. Why? Isn't that why I kept offering you to give Ithaca a chance first? Now I won the race fair and square. You lost your chance. He made a strong gesture to the old king. Icarius grumbled under his breath. Penelope, do you really want to leave with him? I'm not even opposing you take him as your husband anymore. Just stay here, please. The girl just pulled her veil over her face and held onto Odysseus' clothing. And then she retreated behind Odysseus once again. Penelope. Okay, that's enough. I think she made a choice. Don't worry, it's not like I'm imprisoning her in Ithaca or something. She can visit whenever, you know. With that, Icarius sighed. He gave Penelope one last glance before finally turning away. Man, your dad's really attached, huh? I mean, it's kind of his fault. If he hadn't been challenging other suitors to a race, then he'd likely be betrothed to someone who actually wants the throne. But it wouldn't have been you. Yeah. He unintentionally saved the seat for me, huh? But how about you? Are you sure? Penelope didn't think twice about nodding. I'm actually looking forward to seeing Ithaca. Oh, and I'm looking forward to showing you around. Your ducks also love it there. We have a ton of farms, plenty of places for them to roam. While they're at it, they can take care of all the pests. Oh, but please don't bring about duck apocalypse in Ithaca. Duck apocalypse, duck apocalypse. What about just once or twice? Well, as long as you behave. No, not you too. Hello, Brony, welcome. Getting into trouble is my natural instinct. Okay, fine, I'll try, but no promises. Duck apocalypse now. Hey, if something is bothering you, just tell me. I'll be your husband soon, but I was still your friend first. Penelope looked up at him and smiled. It's nothing. Maybe I'm just feeling a little sad about finally leaving. But honestly, I wouldn't say that I have any attachments here, other than my ducks. And they're coming along, so... She trailed off. Well, I can't read minds, but if you'd like to talk, know that I'm here. How am I? I am good. I was gonna say I had an early morning and a nap, so I'm actually good, and then I immediately yawned, so that might have been a lie. But I'm always tired, so that's just the way it is. She took his hand into hers and placed it over her cheek. I'm happy I met you. You're not allowed to use an underhanded attempt like that. Odysseus, that's not underhanded. That's just love, baby. Well, you're free to retaliate. You won't regret it. What if I'm asking for it? God, why do you have to be so adorable? Smooch! 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 Slowly, Odysseus leaned towards her. He gently grabbed her by the hand and then pulled her toward him. Penelope followed his lead without resistance. They shared a smooch! Smooch achieved. Smooch achieved. The gentleness of his hands, the scent of his presence, the touch of his lips. Penelope loved them all.
I love you, Penelope.
Where's that coming from?
From my heart?
May Aphrodite smite you.
Hey, I'm kidding. But seriously, I love you a lot. Loads and loads. I can't wait to bring you home.
I can't wait to be home. A chance encounter that began with a quack. Thus marks the start of their long odyssey. There may be a cruel fate in store for them, an ordeal that will last for decades. But as long as they continue to fight, as long as they continue to remain strong, as long as they continue to love one another, they will definitely find each other once again. Ah! Oh no! It'll be a long odyssey. You will. Cute! I knew this game wouldn't last long, and that's fine. That's absolutely okay. Visual novel, so good. Christopher Nolan decided to film a sequel. Yeah, he did. I'm really looking forward to that movie. Oh no, not the piggies. I'd like to think in this world some ducks went on the Odyssey with them. I think that's what it's implying, because that's probably Cersei back there. This is the Odyssey with ducks. Yep, Cyclops with some ducks. Oh no, the duck ate the Y. Kevin Lloyd. Absolutely legend of free download stuff. Of course they fared better than the soldiers. And they kept Odysseus on his shit, look. The duck apocalypse went with them. Oh, meanwhile, we have Baby Telemachus. Is that Athena? I'm not sure. Cute. It is Tom Holland. Look, it's baby Tom Holland. In memory of Papa. Oh, cute. 10 out of 10. Lovely visual novel. Cute. So cute. Had a lovely time. A lovely, lovely time. Pre-Odyssey Theatre and Gallery unlocked. We got ending 1, a romantic ending walkthrough unlocked. I got the gallery. Oh, there's so much we don't have. So there's 2 endings? So I guess we've probably got like the rejection ending to go. Bonus! I want to look at the lore. So Ajax the Great and Andronicus, son of Nestor. Both men were suitors to Helen, and both also participated in the Trojan War. Ajax was known for his large build and strength, while Andronicus was known for his beauty, swiftness, and skill with the chariot. In this VN, they are drinking buddies of Odysseus. Do they actually get along? Penelope thinks they do. Odysseus is in denial. They are absolutely the longest living ducks you'll ever see. Argonauts, heroes who were gathered by Odysseus' cousin Jason aboard the ship called Argo on a fetch quest to prove himself worthy for the throne of Icolus. This band of heroes was known to have accomplished many feats and adventures across the land and sea. Among them were Lanateris, Odysseus' father, as well as Atalanta, princess of Arcadia. The bull hunt, which is one of the things they did. A classic monster-slaying myth. According to the legend, King Oeneus neglected to offer tributes to Artemis, the goddess of the hunt. To punish his transgression, she sent the Caledonian boar to devastate the countryside. The king summoned heroes to vanquish the beast, and Atalanta was one of those who answered the call. Odysseus' father, Lanateris, was also a participant in this hunt. Sitimene, Odysseus' younger sister. Not much is known about her. She was married to Eurylochus, who would later join Odysseus in the Trojan War as his second in command. My second in command. Foot races! During an important activity. Running was an important activity in ancient Greece. It had been documented in Olympic Games of old. Legends say Greek athletes competed in loincloths before nudity became a trend. Married women weren't allowed to watch Olympic Games. Oh my. For obvious reasons, Odysseus' foot race has to go with the loincloth route. Atalanta, not Atlanta. That's true, that is the capital of Georgia. An hour from where you live. Geography revealed. Greek vases. Ancient Greek vases had special paint technique which gave them red, orange, and black colours. They were the inspiration for the aesthetics of the NPCs. Oh, that's fun! Guests / xenia. Ancient Greeks always welcomed guests into their home. Guests were fed, bathed, and treated with respect. This concept of hospitality was called xenia. It was said that not abiding by xenia would bring the wrath of Zeus, patron of guests. Later, in the Odyssey, xenia becomes the source of woe for Penelope and Odysseus. The worst guests ever, am I right? Yeah, the suitors, I suppose. They just wouldn't fucking leave. I won't tell you in which direction. Fuck. How am I supposed to, I don't know, live in your walls if I don't know where you live? Handshake. One of the oldest records of handshakes dated back to ancient Greece. It was a gesture of peace, showing that you hold no weapon in hand. It was also a gesture of trust, as accounted in the Odyssey and the Iliad. Penelope, make sure you wash your hands after shaking other people's hands, okay? Achaius. Not to be mistaken with Icarus, which, admittedly, I did say his name that way. Prince Achaius ruled Sparta alongside his brother, King Tyndareus. He's also known as a champion foot racer, who had supposedly never lost a match. Doted on his daughter Penelope. The ducks don't have a favourable impression of this man. Neither do I! He comes across as incredibly kind of a little abusive and, controlling in this visual novel. Infanticide! In ancient Greece, the killing of your offspring was frowned upon and was seen as a barbarous act. However, exposure was accepted, an act of deserting the child, be it in a forest, roadside, or someone else's front door. Whether the child survives or not would be up to fate. It seems that there were loopholes to this, such as exposure to the sea. Yet if fate willed, one's life shall be spared, even from such a workaround. Good lord. Ithaca, the kingdom Odysseus ruled. Ithaca was a small, sunny little island with rugged roads unsuitable for horses, so they used donkeys for transportation instead. They grew corn and produced wine. And they also cared for cattle, goats, and swine. It's a quaint, unremarkable little country, but somehow its name was known far and wide. And oh, I heard about a guy who was going round Greece and stuff and didn't know about Epic. And he was looking at reviews for places in Ithaca, and it was just a load of epic references. And then he found about it. He was a historian, actually. He was going around because he's a historian and he was looking at stuff. And then he found out about epic because of the Ithaca reviews. Just a fun way of finding out about it. Laertes? Odysseus' father and former king of Ithaca, and an Argonaut who participated in the Caledonian boar hunt. He was married to Antichelia, and was known as a loyal husband to his wife. He feared the thought of upsetting her. In the Odyssey, Odysseus' final stop was the home of his old father, who was tending to his garden. The long-lost son decided to test his father and pretend to be a traveller who was in search of his old friend Odysseus. Laertes ended up sobbing at the thought of the son he had lost. Odysseus felt bad for tricking his father and ended up revealing his true identity, leading to a father-son reunion. Aww, cute! Tosses the kid into the middle of the ocean. Oh, am I just introducing them to the gods of the sea? I'm sure they'll come back as sea-born king. Anyway, what's for lunch? Exactly. If this hunt was so great, why is it so boring? Ba-dum-bum. Terrible. Menelaus. Spoilers! Menelaus won Helen's hand in marriage. He was also the brother of Agamemnon, the king of Mycene, which had one of the largest forces in the Greek camp during the Trojan War. Agamemnon married Helen's half-sister. We don't talk about what happened to their marriage. Why don't we talk about it? I don't think we should talk about it. Spoilers. Naiad. A type of female spirit or simply a nymph. Naiads were considered as a minor goddess and were associated with rivers, streams, lakes, marshes, fountains and springs. Penelope's mother was a naiad. So was the reason she could talk to ducks. Then again, she's not the only daughter of a nymph, and you don't hear them talking to ducks. Maybe she simply has duck affinity. Who knows? She's just a little ducky. Oath of Tenarius. The famous oath that bound Helen's former suitors into participating in the Trojan War. When Helen was taken away by the Prince Paris of Troy, her former suitors were rallied to help take her back. Due to their promise, they were obligated to provide military assistance to Menelaus, Helen's husband. Odysseus was actually the mastermind behind this idea. And yes, he tried to get out of it, but that's a story for another time. Fucking Menelaus, why couldn't you protect your damn wife? Damn it! God damn it, Menelaus. Why couldn't you protect your damn wife? Odysseus's bow. In the Odyssey, Odysseus returned to a household swarmed with unwanted suitors for his wife. Penelope then put up a challenge. Whoever can string Odysseus's bow and shoot an arrow through the holes of 12 axes will have her hand in marriage. At the time, Odysseus was in the guise of a beggar and took up the test. Unbeknownst to the challengers, the bow that Penelope picked for the challenge was uncommon in that region. Palintonos. Nobody was familiar with the method of stringing it. And then they paid with their lives. A certain nobody. He tried to fake being insane by plowing his field wrong. Olives! Tomatoes didn't arrive in Greece until after the 15th century, while potatoes were only brought in during the 18th century. So we get sad sack of olives instead. Later in the Odyssey, Penelope tested Odysseus by telling him that she'll have their bed removed. Odysseus protested, arguing that it'd be impossible, as he had carved it out of the trunk of a living olive tree himself, something only the two of them knew about. Thus, he proved his identity as her husband, Odysseus. The olive tree was a symbol of their enduring, immovable marriage. Nobody. And Autis? Seer. Divinators who interpreted signs and communicated the will of the gods. They see things that ordinary people do not. Zeus, for example, was associated with eagles and would sometimes disguise himself as one. In the Odyssey, Zeus sent down 2 eagles to fly over the people of Ithaca. The old seer, Halitherses, interpreted it as a sign that Odysseus was close to returning home. Then which god would send ducks? I don't know. Is ducks a godly symbol of a different one? Who knows? Sparta! The setting of the story. While Sparta was very well known for its military might, Penelope in Odysseus' era was before the militarization of the city-state. This is Sparta, ruled by the 2 brothers, Tyndareus and Echirus. Let me just take a quick drink. Swan. According to myth, Zeus took a liking to Helen's mother and disguised himself as a swan. Helen was said to be Zeus's daughter, with Tyndareus' wife, making her the Spartan king's stepdaughter. Her mother supposedly laid 2 eggs. Helen was born from one of them, together with her brother Pollux. The other egg hatched her sister, Castor. Clemenstera, and her other brother Castor. The ducks are not fond of Helen. What did Helen do? I don't trust anyone that the ducks are not fond of. Telemachus! Telemachus was Odysseus and Penelope's son. Because of the oath of Tyndareus, Odysseus had to leave for the Trojan War when his son was an infant. Odysseus didn't want to leave, so he feigned insanity. However, his ruse was uncovered when the envoys sent to get him placed Telemachus in danger. Odysseus saved his son, exposing himself. Telemachus accidentally fell into the water as an infant and was saved by dolphins. In this universe, he can talk to dolphins. Aww, that's cute! The envoy? Oh yeah, he's dead. He died. Odysseus totally had nothing to do with it. Cute! Teucer. The younger half-brother of Ajax the Great. He was known for his skills in archery. In battle, it was said that he often positioned himself behind his big brother, who carried an enormous shield. He's also here in Sparta, vying for Helen's hand. Good luck, Teucer! Tyndareus. Tyndareus was the king of Sparta and father of Helen, also renowned as Helen of Troy, the face that launched 1,000 ships. Or not. It was said that Helen's true father was Zeus. Tyndareus was at a loss of what to do with the suitors who wished for his daughter's hand in marriage, until Odysseus gave him a helping hand. And a witch. Witch, sorceress, enchantress. These powerful women could cast spells and brew magic potions that could fell even the mightiest men. Amongst them was Circe, a powerful witch goddess from the mythical island of According to the Odyssey, she had tamed wild animals such as wolves and lions, as if they were house pets, when Odysseus' men encountered her. Later on, she also turned men into pigs. It is debatable whether or not she could tame ducks. I'd like to think she can't. Ducks are immune. Wonderful! What's in the rest of it? We've got the music and the Odyssey Theatre. Welcome to Pre-Odyssey Theatre. If you're here, that means you've beaten one of the main endings. Thank you for joining us on our journey. By the way, I don't see your ducks today. Oh, they're on leave. Those children enjoy their alone time after all. Oh, thank you, Docomedes, for giving us some alone time. What was that? Oh, just thanking the gods. Speaking of gods, don't you have the favour of the goddess Athena? You're so lucky to have the goddess of wisdom on your side. Oh, that. I'd rather not rely on them gods' favours. They're just so fickle. One moment they can be your ally and then the enemy tomorrow. I wouldn't say so. You have to end up incurring their wrath at least. Like for desecrating their temples. Anyway, what do you want to talk about? Sequel? 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 There is no sequel! That thing is non-canon! We're not talking about that one. Oh, good. It doesn't exist, by the way. I deny its existence! With happily ever after, that's the end. Okay, we did. Okay, we did. But we're talking about a possible Otome sequel. I do not have Tomodachi Life living the dream. I want it, but I do not have it. And what else left to tell? Well, what about your friends, Ajax and Antilochus? I never even got to see their faces. Let them be single and faceless forever. You. But think about it. They kind of helped us get together. Why wouldn't we want the same for them? Because those two are hopeless. Besides. Never mind. Then what about our boy Telemachus? Look at the sweet boy! He does grow up to be a good boy. Odysseus nods to himself sagely. He has your beautiful hair. He looks just like you. I wouldn't have it any other way. But no, he's too young. But he's past 20 by the time you return home. Don't remind me. Let it be my baby boy until just a little while. Aww. Sorry, Telemachus, I tried. Anyway, no sequels. Aw, I wanted to play one about Iliad with your friends, or the Odyssey with your shipmates. Penelope? That won't end well. Huh? But if the main character is from the modern day, who ends up in our world... Where are you learning those? I just got the achievement, it's not real. The sequel is not real. There is no Odyssey, guys. There is no Iliad and Odyssey. They just live together happily ever after, okay, guys? Anyway, what do you want to talk about? Let's talk about pre-Odyssey's thing. Odysseus? Yes? We both know you had gone to Sparta to just take a vacation, right? Okay, fine. I mean, sure. I didn't lie about being on a vacation. But, you know, kings and princes from across the land gathered in one place. Normally we just mind our own business, but something like that, well, it's a recipe for disaster. I have to keep myself updated with foreign affairs, you know? And it just so happens that the best cover to take at the time was the guise of a suitor. But after observing the situation, it just turned out to be a sad gathering of love-struck fools. So I figured, hey, I guess I'll just make it a vacation. Granted, Uncle Tyndareus did have a real predicament on his hand. Yeah, well, that's not my problem. You thought of a solution from the start, didn't you? But you kept quiet about it. Hey, if I solved the problem from the start, then we wouldn't have been able to meet anymore. Besides, the plan only worked exactly because the time was ticking. And everyone was already agitated and anxious, so they didn't think twice about accepting the conditions of the oath. So you already figured that out? Why did you have to question me? I just wanted to test you. You. I love that about you. In any case, pre-Odyssey is based on the story of the Oath of Tyndareus. We know very little about the myth. But what we do know is that Odysseus was indeed one of Helen's suitors. But I didn't bring her any gifts because I wasn't really interested. Instead, I made an offer to Tyndareus, one that he couldn't refuse. And that is to help him have my hand in marriage in exchange for the solution to Helen's suitor predicament. And my glasses, thank you. I can't remember where my glasses button is. I just realized I can take these off. It's been a while though. Not that I can read very well without them. That feels weird. I don't feel right without my glasses. I'm not correct without them. However, there is another more obscure myth about how I had to win a foot race against Penelope's father, Prince Achius. How did you win? The myth didn't mention much. We just know that I had to go up against a foot race champion who had never lost a race. Sounds like one of those hot-blooded sports series. Genius XX who never lost a match. How will our protagonist win against this? How indeed. Well, we all know how it ended. If only that was where it ended. Iliad and the Trojan War and the Odyssey. No glasses, Briny isn't real. She can't hurt you. Yes, I can. No glasses. Ah. It is weird. Doesn't feel right. Yeah, your model designed the glasses. Make the eyes too big because of the frames. High chance just the artist thing. Probably just an artist thing. But the art is wonderful. We love it. But it. Iliad and Trojan War. So what happens after we get to Ithaca? We marry, I make you my queen, and we live happily ever after the end. We both know that's not how it goes. So I wish it did. For those who don't know, Iliad is an ancient Greek epic poem. It tells part of the Trojan War. And it's because freaking Menelaus couldn't take care of his wife. Honestly, yeah, if I streamed a couple times without my glasses, you probably would just get used to it. It's still very cute. I am very cute. I also think my eyes shrink. No, still not as shrinky as it should be. And my sad crying is better because you could actually see the tears in the corner. Yeah, there's some buttons that work a little bit better without the glasses. But glasses are, what is it? Versatile. Bald Briny doesn't exist. What you want about? He had one job. Most importantly, is your posture more visible? No, my glasses do not make my posture more visible. He had one job. Odysseus language. Ha! Can you blame me? I made this marriage with Helen as smooth as possible by making up the oath of Tenereus. Shouldn't I be exempt from it? It was my damned idea in the first place. But no, they had to drag me into that war that I don't fucking care about. Come on, my son was just born and I'm happily living with my wife. They could all go to the underworld for all I care. How about for the next stream you do crying Briny because she lost her glasses? Leave us alone. They're there. She rubbed his back. Oh no. Modbots? That was just me. She rubbed his back. I think I'll take over for this one. The Trojan War started with the kidnapping of my cousin Helen, a prince of Troy, Paris, being our culprit. That's why Helen became known as the face that launched 1,000 ships. Although that figure of speech only came up in the 17th century. Anyway, because of her kidnapping, and thanks to the oath of Tenereus, all her suitors were obligated to give aid on her retrieval. This was the idea Odysseus provided my uncle so that he can have his support. Ugh. You're still upset about that, huh? Of course! We had a deal! I help him, he helps me. I did my part already, and then used it against me. The Trojan War lasted for 10 years. 10 years without you! Don't worry, I'll send you letters through the ducks. I'll always be rooting for you. Thanks. There's a reason that Odysseus had to be sent to Troy, even though he should have been exempt, since he was the one who came up with the oath in the first place. Odysseus nods. Because of a damn prophecy, which said they couldn't win without me. I'm sad that you had to leave, but I think you're amazing that they couldn't go without you. I once heard an analysis of the Odyssey as a metaphor for PTSD, since it's about a soldier's impossibly long and difficult journey to settle back home after war. You know what? That would make sense. Yeah, well, it's nothing. Oh no, it's definitely a huge undertaking. Everyone should be familiar with the term Trojan horse, yes? It was Odysseus that came up with it. The Trojan horse was a trump card that led to our victory, thus fulfilling the prophecy. I actually would have preferred Trojan duck, but they wouldn't have linked it to... They would have linked it to my devotion to you. I would have loved to see that. We'll have one made in your honor. Trojan duck! Trojan duck! Trojan duck! Of course, it wouldn't be called Trojan duck, but Ithacan duck! Ithacan duck! I believe that's it for the Trojan War. Many things happened in between, but that's a story for another time. Anyway, what do you want to talk about? The Odyssey! After the Trojan War, we have the sequel, the Odyssey. 10 more years! 10 more years! 10 more... Anyway... The Trojan War lasted 10 years, and then the sequel lasts for another 10 years. How did it take 10 years from Troy to Ithaca? Odysseus sobs in the corner. This poor man! He just wants to be with his wife! So, yes, it took Odysseus a total of 20 years to get back home. The Odyssey is also my story as much as it is Odysseus's. That's why pre-Odyssey is the title of this game, not pre-Iliad. Because the Odyssey is our story. You did really well holding out. You did your best getting home as well. My travel home was met with way too many perils and bad luck. Or so I say, but it's really only because I may have caught the ire of a god or two. Or 3. I don't know. I lost count. But we have Athena to thank that you managed to pull through, right? I'd say it was you who drove me home. If it weren't for you and our son, I wouldn't have bothered through all that. I mean, sure, I love Ithaca. But going up against gods, goddesses, sea monsters, even I have my limits. And then there was Silence by Blind Guardian. Ooh, I'll check that out. But I have no limit for you, for my family! Right. You did meet a number of beautiful ladies on your way back. But you're the only one for me, I swear! You lived with a couple of them for years. You spent more time with them than me, your newlywed wife. That's because they forced me. It was more like their prisoner. It didn't help that my men were also held hostage. They were turned into pigs at one point. What choice did I have there? Barring the fact that I kind of did lose all of my men at the end. Anyway, I never should have touched any of those goddesses. Anyway, and I tried my best not to let them near me. Even when they're screaming at me to get down from the tree. All the time I spent on the islands, you're the only one in my mind and in my heart. You should know, I was under duck surveillance the whole time. I know, I was just teasing you. You could be cruel when you try. Thanks, I do try. I know it's not your fault, but I couldn't help but still be jealous, you know. You also had to deal with a few suitors back home, didn't you? A few hundred. 108. I'm sorry I couldn't protect our home better. They thrashed everything. They even tried to kill our son Telemachus. Lowlives, shit, trash. Odysseus, language. Sorry. Although I don't disagree with you. They are definitely fucking no good lowlife trash. Sometimes I forget you're a Spartan. So, while Odysseus was struggling to return home back to Ithaca, I try and find excuses to avoid the suitors. They all tried to convince me that Odysseus had died, but I knew he was alive. The ducks gave me regular reports on you after all, at least in this universe. Besides, I'm not the one they're after. They're all just chasing the throne. Scumbags, low-life shit trash. Language. Until finally Odysseus managed to return home disguised as a beggar. Yes, and then I cleaned up every last one of those trash. I would have stopped you if they hadn't planned to go after Telemachus as well. And because of them, Argos also... No, not the dog! That said, I still lost 20 years with you. We continue to exchange letters through our ducks, so I felt connected to you through those years. Yeah, I guess. We really owe those guys a lot. Agreed. And so, this is the origin of the word Odyssey. Yeah, the word Odyssey comes from the Odyssey. Me! Anyway, what do you want to talk about? So that's all the exit. Thank you for spending time with us. Goodbye! That's fun. That was cute. That was lovely extras. Aww. Right, you know what we have to do now? We have to go through and completely reject Odysseus. We must ruin the relationship now. Duck out on this one. I can't do this. He must think I'm a freak. Yep, he definitely does. A weirdo talking to ducks. So let's slip out somewhere quieter. And she turned around. Yeah! Surprise, she almost tripped. Well there, you alright? Thankfully, he managed to catch her. Time paradox! He's holding my hand! I don't smell of duck right now, do I? Make him quack up the situation! What's going on? I'm gonna, like, really skip through. Okay, so it's not letting me skip if I haven't seen it. Do I look like someone who'd stab another person out of nowhere? Yes. Yes. I'm hurt. Sorry. I feel bad. Should I help him? As requested, pulled into a bush. And then we've seen that's quack, got him. Is in a panic. He's in that bush! She points out of the duck-guarded bush. Really? The man blinked. The bush was indeed suspicious, so you'd expect someone to check there first. But given the creepy duck's presence, they likely assumed Odysseus wouldn't have dared approach something so dangerous. Let's go. He gestured his companion to follow him, hiding in the bush. Since it was Penelope who pointed out the bush, the ducks assumed that it was approval to let the two men check. The ducks nodded to each other in unison, allowing the men to pass. Thanks. The word slipped out of the man as he watched the ducks make way for them. What's the deal with these ducks? He muttered, such as searching through the bush. Shit. There you are! He exclaimed, hooking onto the brunette's arm. Hey! You're coming with us. The other man also grabbed the other arm. Be a good friend now. No, I don't want to be a good friend. He whined. Tough luck, suffer with us. Thank you, miss. He gestured his gratitude to Penelope. Now let's drink our sorrows away. Keep your damn sorrows to yourselves! Odysseus' voice faded as his figure disappeared into the halls. I'm sorry. I'm a snitch. I got achievement being a snitch. She prayed for him in her heart. Unfortunately, that was also the last time Penelope had ever seen Odysseus. Soon after, a suitor was chosen for Helen, and everyone else returned to their kingdoms. Penelope herself and her ducks also returned home not long after. Bad end! Betrayal! I got a bad end! Yes, I guess. A returner's choice must be special. Snitch on Odysseus and go back. Quack-a-lie! Quack-a-lackin'! Don't tell him. Penelope shook her head. It's nothing, don't worry about it. That's so, alright? It seemed like he knew something was bothering her, but he didn't want to pry if she wasn't willing to talk. In the end, they continued to chat until the day ended. Peaceful days passed and everything remained the same. Until the day Helen finally picked a suitor, and it was time to say goodbye. I didn't expect to enjoy my time here as much as I did. It was all thanks to you. Quack, 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 quack. And you guys as well, of course. He grinned, giving each bird a healthy dose of head pats. Penelope couldn't even utter a word. It hadn't really hit her until now, of how it be likely to say goodbye to her first human friend. Aw, don't cry. He closed in on her and wiped the streak of her tears from her eyes. It won't be the last time we see each other after all, right? I'll issue an official visit sometime. Even though he was trying to reassure her, Penelope couldn't help but cry. Tell you what. He bent on the ground and grabbed one of her ducks. How about we get help from these guys? We could exchange letters. Quack, quack. As terrible as Odysseus may be when it came to translating Duckanese, the official language, Duckanese, it wasn't difficult to tell that that was a quack of affirmation. That way we can stay connected. I like that. You guys are fine with doing the back and forth trip? They said they're more than happy to do it. He's right. So I guess I'll be taking Quackilles with me. He smiled, cradling one of the ducks in his arms. One of them got to learn the way to Ithaca and all. Behave yourself over there, little one. And I hope you enjoy the trip with Odysseus. Quack! She stroked the duck gently as if the bird was a cat. It would have purred. If the bird was a cat, it would have purred already. Also, make sure that Odysseus behaves himself. Hey, I'm not a kid. I'm even older than you. Well, you seem like you have a tendency to slack. I deny your accusation. Quack, quack. And thus their goodbyes were filled with laughter. Penelope and Odysseus continued to message each other with their ducks. To Penelope. Penelope, it's unfortunate, but my request for a visit has once again been denied. It has been quite hectic here in Ithaca anyway, and everyone keeps telling me to take my work seriously. Just so you know, I do take my work seriously. I'm sorry, I just keep complaining to you. I really wish I can see you again. To Odysseus. I don't mind listening to your woes. That's what friends do, right? I've been told by the little guys that you've really been working hard. So even if I couldn't see you working, I know you're doing your best. I don't have much to say about myself since nothing ever happens here, so I enjoy reading your letters. I'm looking forward to the next part of your story from last time. Unfortunately, Odysseus never had the chance to visit Penelope ever again. But their friendship, despite the distance, persisted thanks to the ducks that continued to connect them. Friendship end! Fly the distance. Cute. Gallery. I want to know. So we have 2 endings here. I want to find another one. We got loads of time. We're going ending hunting. Again! So we've seen this choice. We do have to help him. And quack-a-lie. Fly to the friend zone! So if I don't tell him, I get the friendship ending. So we need to tell him that we love him. Give the one... Backstab! They would get upset? That's what I chose last time. And... they would bear a grudge? Maybe toward Uncle? or the one who got picked? You got it, smart girl. It's not that much. Anyway. That's why Uncle refuses to accept the gifts they brought. Odysseus nodded. Otherwise, it will just fan the flame of the already volatile competition. In addition to that, it's not just your cousin on the line here. The throne of Sparta is also up for grabs with the marriage with her. It's more complicated than I initially thought, huh? You're also very much involved in these throne games, you know. Oh, what was that? Don't mind me. Okay, so then... Is there any chance Helen would pick you? Okay. Exit the conversation. Never mind. Alright. Oh, look, it's getting dark. Nod. Papa knows best. He's not going to listen, is he? It's better if I comply. Now that's a good girl. I'll get whatever you want once we get home, so just behave yourself. The man spoke sweetly, but the girl didn't feel comfort from his words. Don't ask. We don't care. It might be rude to ask about others. Melly pursed her lip. His hand was large and warm. She could tell that he practiced weapons, since her father's hand had the same roughness to them. I'd like to see how he wields them. Does he use swords or perhaps archery? She thought to herself. All right, let's go, he exclaimed with a bright, cheerful voice. She couldn't help but smile. The girl stared at their linked hands. I feel like we've had this, but it's not letting me skip. Sounds foul. I don't know. Just doesn't sound right to invade his privacy like that. Quack quack? So what do I do? Give it up! Well, last time, I think this was the choice where we decided to stalk Odysseus. It worked, evidently. So, what if we lay it on him? I'll tell him how I feel. You'll be right behind me? Thank you, everyone. I love you. Odysseus immediately looked up. Huh? That morning, Penelope had sent one of her ducks to Odysseus with a letter telling him to meet at the garden. Now, here we are. Yes, just like that. I said I love you. I think I've fallen in love with you. Because I know I'd regret it if I... Yep, so I've had this scene, actually. Don't trust him! I want to trust him, but... For the next few days, Penelope didn't see Odysseus. But they did keep exchanging messages through her ducks, apparently. Yeah, so I didn't really get anything there. Yeah! We have to censor it. We have to censor it for the sake of the internet. So back to the duck apocalypse and all this stuff. Same ending. Same ending! Okay. But more. Walkthrough. Oh, it tells me how to do the endings. For those who cannot find their way. So we got... Oh, it says save here. Fascinating. It actually has a way to like get through all of it. There's a true romance, like friendship route. So don't protest. Don't come with him. Ask his friends. Don't take his hand. So we know we gotta get through there. So we've gotta go all the way to like seeing her dad, so... Backstab! All the above. So at this point we need to protest Papa. No, don't protest Papa. And don't come with him. So we're going to nod. We're not going to protest Papa. Ask his friends. Don't come with him. Ask his friends about him. Don't take his hand. Don't take his hand. Don't take his hand. Don't take his hand. Sorry, we're not ready for that. Feeling too embarrassed to take his hand. But Penelope moved past Odysseus and ignored his hand. But I wonder. The Odysseus that Ajax and Antilochus described seemed like a different person. What did they mean that I fell into his trap? No, huh? He muttered himself, quite forlorn. I left them back in my room so that if someone tries to check on me, they'll get... Oh, well, you can even ask them for that? Oh, so how did you get out of your room? Same way you did? Wait, you climbed down? Well, you made it look easy. You could have slipped. Next time I'll help you out, alright? Don't do anything reckless. Oh, okay. Well, whatever, you're safe, and so it's all good. He smiles so carefreely. They said he's a trickster. Oh, so this is the doubting him route. He's not just pretending, is he? Even Father was apprehensive about him. What's with the frown? Oh, I'm just thinking about something. Oh, like what? Someone caught your eye? What? I mean, I get it. Ajax and Antilochus are quite good looking. They came here fully aware and confident that they had a shot at the competition. So, do you want help with any of them? I can. She shoved both her hands over his mouth to stop him from speaking. Stop! No, I'm not. I'm not interested in either of them. I'm interested in you, honey bun. He placed his hand over hers and gently pulled them from covering his face.
That's so. Sorry if that made you uncomfortable.
Is it fine? It said save here. I'm gonna save, I guess. It's fine. It's fine. You were just teasing. Just me, or does he sound different? Normally sounds energetic and cheerful, but right now, as Penelope is perceived, there was an uncharacteristic calmness to him.
Then how about me? Do I have a chance with you?
What? What did that... He drew his hand close to his lips.
Placing your hands here. You should really be more guarded, you know.
Penelope held her breath. She could feel her heart racing. What's with the sudden change of demeanor?
If you don't like it, just pull away.
But what if we don't? Penelope relaxed herself. Odysseus' grip seemed to have loosened. So that's your answer. He grinned, gently taking her hand and giving her fingers a kiss. Why is he? You look so adorable right now. Penelope couldn't help but hold her breath. She felt her cheeks grow warmer by the second, until he gave her another kiss, then another one on her wrist. He was gentle throughout. Penelope's heart raced. But it wasn't unpleasant. Why are you doing this? She croaked. I'm not sure if you're playing dumb or if you're just completely oblivious. Obviously, I like you. I want you. Oh, stop teasing me like this.
Oh, Aphrodite, how is she so dense?
She's so dead.
I guess it's understandable for someone who never had friends.
I had my ducks.
Yeah, and I bet they tell you that they love you all the time.
Only frequently.
Shit. This is hard. Penelope, please marry me.
Did that get through your dense skull? Please tell me it did. At this point, I might as well try search for the golden fleece. Please marry me. Odysseus' questionable proposal. Of course, she overloaded. Penelope balled up on the ground, covering her face. Do I like him? She never really thought about him that way. Saying that would be a lie. Come on, she was totally crushing on him when she first saw him. Girl, you want to take him home? You wanted to take him home at one point. What do you think that is? Is it just me or is there someone suddenly screaming in my head? But the voice in my head is right. Are you alright? You can forget about what I said if it bothers you. I don't mind staying friends. No! We couldn't stay friends anymore either? Huh. No! Which is it? I couldn't put it into words. Ugh. Peck! 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 Smooch! The ducks! It was brief. The warmth they shared lasted only but a moment. Yet it was enough to send a tingling sensation through her body. When it was all over, she finally noticed her chest beating wildly, and she just figuratively melted into a puddle. Whoa, that's a yes, right? Mm-hmm. She felt so drained that Penelope could only let out a whimper of affirmation. Oh, Aphrodite, you work too fast. This escalated way too quickly. Definitely, neither one of them expected to suddenly be engaged today. So, what's next? I guess I have to ask your father. Should probably send an envoy to Ithaca to announce that I'll be taking home a queen. Penelope blinked. You're not staying here with me? No, I'm taking you home with me. At this time, it was more common for the man to move in with his wife. It was uncommon for the man to take her home. So what Odysseus wanted was definitely not the norm. Otherwise, the Ithacan throne would be left wide open, and my sister will have to take the brunt of my absence. He added, looking up. Of course, my father could also come out of retirement, he muttered to himself, while he and Penelope also recalled a concern of her own. All right, father. Immediately her mood soured. He was very much against Odysseus after all. What's the matter? The young man probably noticed her frown. I know this is moving too fast, so I understand if you're having second thoughts. We could just tell our families for now, if you'd like. Penelope shook her head. No, that's exactly the problem. Father, he didn't like you, remember? Ah, shit, you're right. Oh, well, don't worry, I'll figure something out. He gave her a reassuring grip on the shoulder. Alright. Somehow I felt like everything would go well when I look at his face. The two continued to talk about their engagement for the rest of the day. And then we have all the usual scenes. How do I get the rest? How do I get the rest? How do I get the rest? Do I trust him? Do I not trust him? I want this ending. So maybe I've got enough. I just need to, like, continue. So let's trust him. Skippy, 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 skippy. We have to censor it because it's important. Duck apocalypse, all that good stuff. No, it's the same ending.
Penelope, I love you. I love you.
Or is it ever so slightly different? No, it's not slightly different. Confusing. But we are slowly filling out the gallery. But what is this ending? The one who brings suffering also experienced suffering. I mean, I got a whole extra seat. I got an extra smooch. That's fun. What? Let's take a small break from this. I would like your thoughts on what I should play next on the channel while we've got us all here. Where did I find such a weird game? I was just scrolling Steam at one point, and I was like, fuck yeah. Penelope and Odysseus and Ducks sounds great. And then that was it. Let me just... I have like a small shortlist in my brain, and I would like thoughts. So let me get a little text screen. Text up. So I have Chance of Senna. Rekka. Baba Yaga Simulator. I have Tiny Bookshop. For shits and giggles, I did just pick up the ReZero game. I don't know if you'd actually be interested in that being streamed. What else have I got that I picked up recently? Bookshop Simulator. You would be very interested. Will I be okay? I don't know if I will. But ReZero is very fun. It's an original storyline for the game as well, so I wouldn't be just playing through the thing. I might have to play it a little bit myself first to see if I feel like it's something I could stream, because I actually don't really know what the gameplay is like at all. I just have it, and I'm very excited for it. I have a feeling someone's looking... I try to look for games that are on theme. Like, Chance of Sinar is about language and language development, which is something I've always been very interested in. I do try to keep these things on theme or through recommendation. I have some others that were recommended. I've just got to find them. Or I bought them ages ago. Booksop. Yes, Booksop. In Combini? That's the little, like, cute Combini store one, isn't it? I don't have it, but let's see. In Combini. It is very cozy. It's not on theme, but it's cozy. And that's okay. We could take cozy. I had some... What were my recs? Let me get Discord up so I can have a look at that. Suggestion box. Obviously, there's the Arcana Library one. But that will be getting played. That's been voted as this month's one, so I'll be playing that after this regardless. But for the next sort of like prop-a game, where's my suggestion box? There's my suggestion box. Let's have a look. So we got Zato, a visual novel that's left me floored. It's completely free on Steam. Recommended to anyone who likes introspective VNs. We have just done a VN, so I should probably do something other than a VN for this one. So Librarian, we got Off. Which I don't know if I have. No, I don't have it. Not that I couldn't buy it, but you know. You guys give me enough money to buy things. 80 Days, Exnum suggested. I remember this game I played a long time ago. Thought you would enjoy it. It's a steampunk around the world in 80 days where you choose your own path. Ooh. Yes, Off has been on the recommended list for a while, and I have never played it before, so... That and like Omori, I think, is one that I've had. Yeah, it's on my wish list. One I haven't played that is like highly recommended to me. Chants of Sinars. One Shot. That was it. I'm pretty sure I have that one. Yes. Boop! Thank you, normal size phantom. Although I did say I have money that you didn't need to give it to me, but thank you anyway. One Shot. So these are the ideas that I have for the next sort of bigger game to play on this channel. Maybe I'll do a little vote. I might stick a vote in the community tab. And maybe one on Discord so you guys can give me a little info as to what would be. Ah! Oh yeah. Why are you doing it twice? I told you I didn't need money. I didn't need money. I have business money that I can use that has been already been given by you guys. And these are games I already own. I don't even need money for them. It's fine. Stop it. Oi. How dare you? But yeah, now this game's pretty over. Well, like I say, I was pretty sure this one was going to be over by now. So next week will be the Arcane Library one, the cleaning up the library. I'll probably play that one to completion, but from what I've heard, it won't be that long. 2 streams at most. And then we'll go to one of these. Ah. Why is my Twitch goal affiliate, please, when you were... because I forgot to change it. I really should change that. I forgot the Twitch goals was a thing. How do I do that? I'm not gonna do that now. Otherwise, I will just get very distracted. Yeah, so if you have any thoughts on those things or any recommendations, please give them to me. If not, I suppose I will, I don't know, make a random roll on it. You've never heard of any of these? So Chants of Sinnoh, like I said, is a really cool like puzzle game where you're making your way up this tower, but everyone speaks like a different language, so you're trying to like figure out different language, different words and things like that, and slowly like the puzzles get more complicated and you sort of figure out that, oh, maybe that word I had wasn't quite right. And it seems really cool for the amount I talk about language development. It seems like a game basically based around that. Rekka is a comfy game where you're a Baba Yaga. You have a house on a chicken, and you're a witch that lives in a swamp, and you have a house on chicken feet, and you go around helping towns and decorate your house. It's good stuff. Tiny bookshop is what it says. You're a tiny mobile bookshop. You go from town to town. You sell books. You sort of sort out your inventory and stuff like that. ReZero is a game based off the ReZero anime. Like I said, it's not something I was really thinking about streaming, but I was like, fuck it, I'll throw it up there as an option. It's a completely original storyline. So it wouldn't be any anime spoilers really. Maybe some potentially. But I've heard good things and it looks like fun, but I probably would have to test it a little myself beforehand. Bookshop Simulator, I think it's basically kind of one of those typical simulator games, but you know, you have a bookshop, so I don't know how long that would last. And the Bookshop, it is a Bookshop simulator. One Shot, I've heard good things. Let me read the store page for that one. One Shot is a surreal top-down puzzle adventure game with unique gameplay capabilities. You have to guide a child through a mysterious world on a mission to restore its long-dead son. The world knows you exist. So that sounds like a wild journey. And I'm gonna throw Off on that too, which is an RPG Maker game that's apparently quite legendary. One of the most influential RPGs of the last 20 years is finally in Steam. Take control of the Batter as he seeks to purify uncanny and hopeless world haunted by specters, guided by a cryptic, grinning cat called the Judge. Book soup. Book soup. But yeah, I'll throw up some votes for this so you can help me decide, but those are probably my options. So if you'll have any thoughts, let me know. But I think that is where we're going to end the stream for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Thank you, everyone in chat. Thank you, anyone alert. Thank you, anyone watching the VOD. I really appreciate you coming and hope you enjoyed, no matter which way you decided to enjoy. If you have not already, I would also highly appreciate it if you could leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel so that you can be on the community page and help me vote for a new game. If you've done that, Twitch. Please go to Twitch and follow that one too. That would be lovely. If you've done that, go to Discord. If you've done that, what if I want to superscribe instead of subscribe? Then you have to click on and off subscribe 3 times, and that's how you make it super. A little known trick. What should I push today? I have audiobooks. Go buy them. I'm starting to record the 3rd one now. Because there's 5 in this book series that I've been recording. And I'm all the way on the 3rd one. See, the thing, if I go onto my all available, not like, books sold. Yay! I've cleared 100 audiobooks sold now. So if you would like to bring that number even further, consider getting your butt to Audible and buy my audiobooks. That would be lovely. That is my shill for today. That has been my stream for today. I'll be back tomorrow. Well, we're gonna take a train. I don't want to take this train. Because I have been so afraid. It is 18 plus hours now, isn't it? Because the first book was 6 hours and the second book is 8 hours, I think. So it's not quite 16 hours. It's 18 hours. I think it's more like 16. But still, yeah. Can't imagine talking for that long. Well, luckily I don't record it all in one sitting. But yes, we're playing Limbus Company, and I have been so afraid. Yes, I have been so different, consistently indifferent. I'm terrified. I'm terrified of the warp train. I don't want to go on the warp train. We're gonna go on the warp train. I don't want to go on the warp train. But we have to go on the warp train. But that's a horror for tomorrow. For now, I had fun. I hope you had fun. This has been Brady Smith, Land of the Forbidden Library. Goodbye, Brianicles. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.